My computer's running so hot. It's really annoying. My CPU temperature right now is like 168 degrees.
Well,
Oh,
stop trying to generate like AI generated porn in the background, man. Come on.
Okay. I don't know if you saw my little post that just for this conversation here in Discord, but um, anyway, that's gonna be my approach. Is that I'm gonna want to try to get my way uh,
Well,
to a level of trust with the night
let, let,
runners.
let me suggest one thing, maybe.
Go ahead.
You know, from what I learned, there's a lot of religious, groups in the city, like of all the elements. What if a coalition there came out of that place? Maybe we'll find the sage people among them, and they can pull the people together.
Okay, maybe that's just it.
That's a
We need to
suggestion.
have no, but what we need to have not just one group running it, but a check and balance, if you will.
Yeah, just like we've done with uh, with this group of bandits. We took some people that were completely opposite to each other, and we got them to work together.
I can't believe that worked actually, so far as
Well,
it has. Well, I mean, time will tell.
we can bring that to Rom. Ultimately, you know, if we reinforce them and have them work together, we might have a better chance of having another city that is free instead of one that is, corrupt and leading with slavery everywhere.
Also, you've made allies out of these wyvern riders from the Break Shore, and they'd be happy to
Right.
go back to Rom too. They know a
We
lot
have
of people back there.
we have the Templars. That
Here's the question that I have: the Wyvern Riders, from my notes here, are not affiliated with the Templars. They are like a separate whole paramilitary force,
Yes, they're like
right?
mercenaries that were with one of the noble houses, but their noble house was destroyed by one of the bigger, more powerful noble houses.
Yeah, Fallen Noble House. Yeah, House of Sham.
So
Okay, so
right now,
they're
there's
usually
like three main ones. Nawab Marham is a human. Nawab Erdenmoor is the dwarf that runs the arena, and
hold on, wait,
Nawab
wait, wait.
Shialha is a elf that is vying for power in the city. So those are like the three main noble factions currently.
Wait, wait,
What do
wait.
you what do you think of that idea, Taro? Ringside.
Um,
there's a lot of overlapping words.
sorry,
What
can you put that in chat, please, Ninja? I'm putting that in my notes.
Okay.
what do you think of this idea of us meeting with the group, trying to get them to work together? Maybe even like I'm not sure of the air element, or like priesthood in the city, but uh, getting their attention. You have some influence probably with them.
Oh,
I might have some influence with I will be able to bring and use my influence.
So the Wyvern Riders will explain to you that Ram's nobles are known as Nawabs, families of high caste that have amassed wealth and property over the centuries. From their estates, filled with mercenary guards, the Nawabs wage war against one another to crush opposition and to rally supporters. Each
We're gonna have
family is an armed faction, and all are little better than bandits, demanding tolls from anyone seeking to use the roads crossing their lands.
we're gonna have to put a wealth tax on these guys.
So Nawab is a title. The caste consists of noble warlord families. So they are like the nobles of Ram.
oh.
Okay, so a different approach from this part of the conversation is to talk to the different noble factions and get them to stop squabbling in the same way that we did with the bandit clans. That might not be possible, but if we could do the bandit clans, we can do goddamn anything in Athos.
If we were able, like, if we were able to change that city and bring back order, with not necessarily having like one dominant group, this is gonna spread a lot of words of our achievements like across the world.
So, are we trying to make this a
Another kind of council thing, like
right?
It might not be a bad idea. Instead of just destroying, because if we try to reinforce one group only, it's only gonna bring back to more violence in the city and more destruction.
Okay. So here's some other question. Nawab Shiala, that is, yeah,
Yeah.
Shiala. She's got strong ties to the elven tribes outside the city, the Night Runners, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
And that would put her like, if what we did was said, okay, Templars, sorry, but you're done, and we just like either execute them or put them someplace or whatever we decide to do with them. That would put them as the de facto front runners in terms of power, in terms of influence of Rom. However, I would guess, and Ninja, correct me if I'm wrong, Nawab Marham, the human demagogue, crime lord guy, I'm guessing, well, he's a crime lord, so he's probably not with the Templars, but I would guess otherwise the Templars, just from race relations, would be more on the side of Marham.
They're different factions. So there are basically 4 rival factions vying to control Rom. The Templars, you've already sort of sided with them, and you're showing the little Templar force that is with you how powerful you are and the changes that you can make in a region. So they're already on board. But there's also the noble factions, and like you said, you could go talk to each of the Nawabs and try to negotiate with them or bring them to the negotiating table. And then there's the merchant camp of Rom, which is House McKay.
I'm going to add that too.
And then there's the elf camp that Shiala is tied to.
But the question that I have is basically the Templars would be the closest. So are the Templars totally noble neutral? Like they don't have an appreciation more towards the militant dwarf Erden Moore? Or because I was thinking like if he's militant, he's maybe a bit more lawful and willing to go that way. I guess he controls the arena. I don't know what mansabdars are.
A mansabdar is a word for a mercenary or soldier of Rom. So pretty much anybody that's been conscripted into the army can be considered a mansabdar.
Okay. So kind of like how things went over with Altaruk with me.
They're sort of the police force of the city, but there's also a secret police called the Kuataga.
Cool, tell her.
Yeah, sort of like that. So the Templars, the Viziers, the Mansabdars, and the Kuataga are like the government of Rom. So you have like all these different castes. The city is broken down into a caste system. I could describe it to you. Like the Dragon Riders will fill you in on the way it works in Rom. They'll tell you that most people, slaves, servants, laborers, that's like more than half of the city. Then about a fifth of the city, they're the merchants, the artisans, and like the high-end laborers that are like the fine craftsmen. Then you've got about 10% of the city that is your nawabs, your viziers, which are like government functionaries, bureaucrats. Then the Templars that used to serve the old queen, and the Mansabdars, which are the warrior class that works for the Templars and the viziers and the nawabs.
Whoa. You're telling me the Mansabdars are part of that 10%?
10% of the 40,000 people that live in Rom. So there's about 4,000 people, and out of those 4,000 people, that's a small amount of Nawabs, Viziers, Templars, and then a whole bunch of Mansabdars.
So Mansabdars can't be just regular conscripts. That's like,
Now,
upper
think about a lot of
brass.
them as like your high-end fighters. So in Rom, what they will do is they'll pull from the slave class and they'll make them go fight. They have a huge cache of weapons, so they'll equip their slaves and their lowest level peasants with enough gear that they can fight, and then they make them a temporary soldier or a mercenary Mansabdar. But then there's like your professional soldiers that are like the main people defending any of the factions, and they're going to be higher level.
Higher than the Mansabdars?
Well, I'm saying Mansabdars, it's going to be higher end fighters than the conscripts from the regular folk.
Okay. But
So-
so the Mansingars are professional fighters.
Yes, they would be like the knights.
Okay. Okay, writing that down.
So I need to write something down because I feel like I've gotten a lot of information, but I don't know what to do with half of it. So let me just, I have a little text in front of me.
There's
What
even
are-
more. There's even more. Hang on. So
Oh.
beyond the high end class, there's also a tiny priest class, about a couple thousand, who serve the cause of Badna, the god Badna. It's a big religion in this town, but not many people are into it. It's sort of like a dying religion. That was the religion that the sorcerer queen promoted. She claimed that she served a higher god, and this Badna was the higher god that she drew her power from. But you know, it was really her power, so who knows if Badna is even real or not. But some
know what?
people in Rom believe in it. There is a priest class.
What's Badna supposed to be the deity of?
Badna is the deity of Rom. It's just like a city-state deity. They're
Okay, Sigmar then got it.
beneficial to this city-state and the people of the city-state, but it doesn't have
Hey,
a domain
do
like
anything?
agriculture or anything. Well, he's got 4 arms, so he probably does a lot.
Oh, all right. What does he do with the 4 arms then?
He's got 4 arms, and he's got notably a very long loincloth, concealing something. So maybe a god of fertility and labor, because he's
Okay,
got so many
nice.
arms to do things.
He's
Nice.
a master gooner.
Listen, okay, I don't need the freaking the Shokan fertility god. All right, I'm good.
Yes, you do.
We
Hey,
need a bit more
Mark?
detail, Ninja.
Grimorn, there's your first objective. Take those 2,000 Badna priests. If you can save them, you have. Look,
You convert them.
I'm thinking if you can convert them, you've got it, man. I'll salute you in whatever you want to do with Rom.
Oh, I
But
don't want to do.
I'm expecting that you're going to have to slaughter most of them.
That aside,
Well, there's also elemental religion in the city too. Maybe it's a matter of bringing them together.
I'd like to define our objectives for interacting with Rom.
Stability.
Okay.
Stability and alliance,
Why stability specifically?
because they are in an environment of chaos. There's no true leader or guidance in the city.
Which is an opportunity for us to turn this into another tier.
The
A free tier.
sorcerer king, the sorcerer queen is dead, and there's several groups that are trying to take over. But that could be an opportunity for us to get a new ally, a strong ally.
Rom is one of the most heavily populated areas. There's approaching 80,000 people in and around Rom.
Oh, I thought you said 40,000.
So
If you-
40,000 is the city itself. So that's defining the people within the walls of Rom. But there's an additional, almost doubling that number, that is outside the walls of Rom.
If you look at the map, like we would start, but we would be creating a line of alliance, splitting a big portion of the map into 2. That would
Well,
put
between-
us. That would put
Between
us.
Tyr, yeah, between Tyr and Rom,
Yeah.
the only thing in our way really is Uruk.
Well, yeah.
between-
We have
Between
Nibene.
Rom and the Bandit Kingdoms and Kern, the only thing in our way is Dredge.
Does anyone worship Organard?
Korganard is not exactly worshipped by the Veiled Alliance, but they revere him greatly.
Is there any specific reason why?
Why they don't? Well, he hasn't promoted himself as a religion. If he did, probably a lot of people would pray to him, just because of his aura that blesses everybody within like 60 feet of him.
Questions for later.
And
So I'm writing.
he doesn't have
Oh,
those
all right.
ambitions.
What are your current main plans for getting these guys to work for us, with us?
My main plans?
All of you. I don't care who talks first.
Maybe you just haven't been here for the past like however many minutes, but
I'm trying to gather them up all together at once.
okay. I could just post what's in the cell. I have a cell of all the notes for Rom in my little spreadsheet here, my character sheet. But also, one thing that I should probably mention about that is we gave 40,000 pounds of white silhouette meat, and we still had 1,100 pounds in our hold. So I don't know what happened with all that.
Ray of Frost.
It got sold.
No.
So I should delete all that.
Well, I don't know if there was more, because you gave a whole bunch to the Dragon Riders as payment.
Yeah, I'm gonna delete that from my notes here. Yeah.
Let me see if I kept the note on the amounts here. Yeah, I don't see where it's at. I had it somewhere. Maybe the airship?
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and delete that. Okay, moving on. So currently it's basically a nobody really has an advantage over the other, but there do seem to be some slight advantages of one side over the other that we're trying to play one off, and we're trying to basically do what we just did with the Bandit Kingdoms here, but it is a little bit different.
Oh, I found my note. Hang on. So the Wyvern Riders have been paid with 40,000 pounds of white silt horror meat. They sell a lot of the meat and preserve the rest. They buy storage to hold a large quantity of food and water for travel. And I also had a note that Grimoran resurrected the defeated Wyvern Rider to earn the trust of the group. And this and his large payment of meat sets them up well and earns quite a bit of loyalty from them.
Ooh. Thinking.
It's good to have a loyal
Alright,
little
here's
Air
a
Force when
question.
you've got your airship. You're going to need those Wyvern Riders
Yeah.
to help defend against any airborne threats.
What does Rom want particularly?
Oh, well, so the way I would like this to be done is let's have you arrive at the city and then travel around the city to locations in the city where you can find out by interacting with NPCs what they want.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, if you don't mind, I'll take the point on this. I'll take the first episode.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, hang on. So I've got the map here, the world map. I got a red line showing you're arriving in Rom, and you have future plans to travel to Nibene, and then I'm going to cover that up with the other map of Rom here. Blow that up to big size so we can sort of use that for navigation. I've also got the arena map, which I just made. I put that right here next to it. The arena map's cool because it's got some verticality. You can see that it's got this enormous crevasse separating the public seating from the arena floor and from the observation lofts for the rich people.
Okay, I see. Well, what I was going to say was Oren would like to go ahead, and I'm going to go ahead and get an audience first with Nawab Shiala, and then from there springboard off to trying to get into ties with the Netrunner Elves. And once I can see if they're willing to make treaties, make plans, then I'm going to try and have him have them, whoever he or she leading that would be, to get audience with Grimoran and the rest of our group here. And especially also if Ringsight can go ahead and peek into their hearts, maybe when they sleep or not, dream ride them, I don't know what. But to find out really who they are and if they are worth putting our trust in.
Well, yeah, you can also try to find out what they're looking for. What would maybe convince them.
Well, I don't know that they necessarily know besides what they're already doing.
Mm-hmm.
What.
I do. Well, I'll go talk with the elemental groups. I do need to find an item as well. Apparently, there's a legendary item somewhere.
Okay,
Let
so a
me
little
get
bit
to
of
the Fire Lord.
logistics. Where do you park the airship? Are you going to park it outside the city and then walk in through one of the gates? Or are you going to fly in over the wall and freak everyone out?
No, we're gonna do the civil thing.
Okay. So you park your airship and you hoof it. You're traveling on the outer road.
We're gonna do like one of those pass, when the jets flies over a football field.
All right.
Nice.
There's several gates, so you've got options what direction you want to come at the city from. Do you want to come in from the west gate? Do you want to come in from the northeast gate? Do you want to come in from the east gate or from the south gate?
The east gate.
Okay. You come in from the east gate, where there's a long thoroughfare that connects on the left side of the tracks to the low quarter, and on the right side of the tracks to the official quarter.
How many days did it take us to get here?
You travel quick on the airship, and I didn't have any complications, so it probably only took you 3 days, since you're marking days off.
Yeah. There you go. Thank you.
Yep. All right, so you come in through the east gate, and there's going to be a whole bunch of fancy people who are called viziers, and they wear a whole lot of silk and turbans. Very flowery people. A lot of them are quite pompous and fat, sort of from the noble class, and they've got many armed guards that surround them, and there's a lot of laborers that are moving packages here and there. There's a lot of trade that comes through the city, even though the city is hitting really hard times. You'll see that there are beggars up and down the street all over the place. Because you're so close to the low quarter, it's the slums, the poor part of town. There's a lot of poverty. There's a lot of desperation. You'll see people huddled in doorways, and the buildings are quite shabby. They're just made out of stick and daub, mud. They probably smell bad. There's maybe sewage spilled in front of them, muddy streets. And these sick people are just huddled in the doorways, coughing their guts out, covered in boils and sores. There might even be the occasional dead body, and you'll see one of these priests of Badna, and they're wearing sort of like a mask, like a sandstorm mask, but it's got like a long nose. And they'll have a wagon, like a pull wagon, like a cart kind of thing. And they have some laborers that also have the masks on and gloves, and they'll be picking up these dead bodies and piling them like wood onto these wagons. And they solemnly sort of carry them away, and you see people crying and stuff. Now, on the right side of the street, these people are the official quarter. They are artisans, so there's a little more business going on that side of the street. There might be a few people that are trying to sell you things, but immediately, if anybody tries to buy anything, you'll find out that your money's no good here, and people will insist that you have to go talk to Vizier Ekman at the Vizier's First Bank and exchange your coins. Otherwise, you won't be able to purchase anything in the city.
Ninja?
Yeah.
Can I approach the cleric?
Sure.
And the one who's looking after, I guess, like people are sick. There's
Yeah.
a plague or something going on.
All right. You speak
And
to a
I
lowly
have them-
priest of Badna.
Yes.
He says,
So-
in Badna's name, bless you. You seem healthy, my friend.
Yeah, I'm a cleric, a fire, and I was wondering if your city or this part of the city needs some assistance right now. Maybe I can bring some help.
Indeed.
To the poor.
The priesthood of Badna is desperate for medicine. If you could bring any kind of medicine, we would desperately like to receive healer's kits or herbalism kits. We're completely out. We've been using them like crazy.
Is there a good place to buy some in the city?
In the city, no. We're cleared out.
There's-
You would have to
there's a
source it.
shortage.
You would have to source it outside of Rom and bring it to the city.
Okay. I'll take out my walkie-talkie.
He
One of my,
warns you that there are many sick people with disease. Various plagues ravage Rom. He says that medicines will fetch a high price. He will buy them for twice the going rate. So you could make about 1 silver per item, which is a good price.
Can I send through a sending stone a message to the clerics in Nimede and the clerics in Tyr, and has them to gather some of those medicines
Okay.
and kits. And also a message to the clerics that are on board of the ship. We got 4 of them, and I asked them to come in the city and to start healing people by using their magic.
Okay.
While we're doing business in the city, we can open like a little clinic and start like mass healing, removing some of the plague and stuff like that.
So,
Just a little bit of the presence.
the priest of Badna wants to warn you about the diseases in particular. He tells you, be wary of the sick, especially those who have a wheezing cough. But also, watch out for inflamed skin or a sense of physical weakness, which is a completely different disease called the red ache. So worry about the wheezing death, worry about the red ache. Avoid coughing, avoid people with inflamed skin and physical weakness, or else you might become infected yourself. Also, there's a terrible rat problem. You could speak to the Laborers Guild about it if you want to help, but the rats convey filth fever. That's been going around quite a bit as well. And people outside the city have been coming to me with tarry bites and sitak fever. It's a mess, and we've completely run low on medicine.
Do you know the type of herbs that could actually? I'll do a medicine check, and for identify like the ingredients, like the herbs types and stuff like that.
Yeah, there are local herbs, and he could tell you about them. They're hard to find, though, because the environment around here is terrible.
Can I ask, can more long? Would
Is,
you
is,
not, would you not be able
is
to help
Trollo?
with that?
I'm gonna be able to do that.
Yeah, you could look for some. If you're right at the gate, there's probably some not far from your location. You just have to go out and about searching for it. There might be some growing along the road, although people might have picked it clean at this point. You might have to go out a ways. It might take you an hour or more to find some, but you definitely could.
Yeah, because that might be a good idea. And I have if we could produce a lot or get a lot from Tyr and from Nimene, I could work on something.
Templars are essentially just paladins, right?
The Templars were
Warlocks.
clerics, but they lost their clerical ability, so they're basically not very good fighters.
Can I use my lay on hands version where I spend 5 points and just cure disease?
Yeah, you could try, but I added like some mechanics for cure disease. It's not always 100%. You have to make a caster check. You can apply your proficiency bonus and your charisma. Some diseases require more than one successful check, so it's not something you can accomplish quickly because the way diseases work, there will be like an initial effect and then another effect after a while. Like some people are making a check every day, so you would have to treat somebody for 2 days in a row to really like cure them fully.
And I asked the cleric, would it be possible to have a meeting and set up a meeting with the leader or the people that are in charge of your group?
You speak of High Priest Tohuhan.
Mm-hmm.
He is a great healer. Yes, if you would like to meet him, you will find him, but he is always healing the sick and traveling. He is most likely in the low quarter. And just then, suddenly, everybody has to roll a dexterity save because there's an earthquake. The priests roll an 18 and a 16. They were ready for the earthquake. It doesn't even seem to shock them. Noticing that you're all making your checks and some of you might not succeed, DC 15, he'll warn you, there are many small tremors. You will probably encounter 5 or 6 throughout the day.
Nope, I failed.
Do you know a reason for that?
It knocks you down. It doesn't do any damage. He'll tell you that this is a common thing due to the instability in the ground that Ram is built on. Also, nearby, there's a tremendous crash as one of these little shanty buildings collapses and some people scream inside.
This earthquake has been here ever since the founding of Rom?
You'll notice that many of the buildings are only one story and they're made out of materials like wood, mud, thatch. So they withstand the earthquakes, and if they collapse, it's not always fatal. People can be dug out of a simple one-story building without terrible injuries. The rich people, they might have like some stones that elevate their building and keeps them out of the dirt, but for the most part, you won't find any two-story buildings in this town just because the earthquakes are a natural, normal occurrence in the region.
So expect some assistance. Expect some assistance. We'll help you, and when we have a moment, we will seek for your leader. But if you had an opportunity to spread the word that we're looking for him, that would help us a lot because we're not from the region, and we would like to meet him in today or tomorrow after we do some of our business.
He nods. He says, "We make many trips throughout the city, traveling on the roads. Surely we will see him eventually. Where will you be staying?" He's going to ask you about your choice of accommodations in the city. He'll tell you that there's 3 options, basically. You can go over here to the low quarter. You can purchase one of these simple buildings for 1 ceramic piece for the week. A simple dwelling. There's not much to it. A roof over your head in case there's a dust storm. You could...
We'll look for some accommodation, but probably the best way to reach us is to inform one of the clerics you'll be working with.
Oh,
and
well,
they can,
hang on, my friend. Let me finish. What I would recommend, since you obviously have money, is to come to the Temple Quarter, where the priests of Badna and the viziers and the Templars live. It's within the inner wall, and he's going to point across town where you can see a large circular stone wall creating an enclosure for the rich folks. The official quarter, the Temple Quarter, the ascetics row. All of that stuff is elevated high above the poor folk down here and beyond a wall that people can't get beyond unless they're of the correct caste to go into the good part of town. So he suggests go to the Temple Quarter. You can find accommodations there for 1 silver, and they'll be quite nice. And because that's where the priests of Badna are located, we could report to you when we return from our day's work here.
And we can do that. But what I'll do, though, meanwhile, and if you want, I will give you 10 silvers to yourself, and I want you to rent as many homes as possible to set them as clinics for all these sick people and to gather some food and water so we can help in treating them.
Are there any druids in Rom?
Druids? The priest of Badna says that yes, you can find druids, though they don't like Rom very much. Our soil is so depleted. The last druid I saw was ranting about how he was disgusted by our agricultural practices. It's just how we do things in Rom. It can't be helped. The soil is badly depleted, we have dust storms all the time, crops don't grow. Our water supply is good, but something doesn't work well. Perhaps our farming methods aren't up to snuff. Oh, before I forget, there's one other accommodation option in town. If you've got gold, then you could rent a room at the Ivory Palace, the former home of Abalak Ray herself. She had 100 luxurious rooms in that old palace, and if you're wealthy enough, you can rent one for the week.
That might actually be useful.
Oh, we can figure that out. But please take these funds so you can help us rent some place for some of that work.
He nods solemnly. He gives the funds to his assistant, and he says, "I will continue the duty of collection. You travel with the funds and spread the word. And he wants to get your name and the name of your allies, so let's see. And I can give you his name too. I will generate one. His name is Akpozu. The dwarf.
What a nice dwarf. He's
One
not
last
even
thing.
horrible racist.
Sorry, what was that?
I said, what a nice dwarf. He's not even horribly racist.
Oh, yeah. Well, so Rom is diverse, and the people of Rom are notably friendly to you. Would you like to roll an
Oh.
insight on that?
Yes. Instant suspicion. Alright, hold on. Hate this. I mean this. Okay, that's
Yeah, I gotta go for a little while. My daughter's coming back. I'm gonna make her some waffles, and I'll be back in like 30 or 40 minutes.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay, bye.
What do you get?
24.
Oh, that's a good roll. All right. So, I forgot what I was gonna say. What were we just talking about? I got on a different track.
People seem to actually to like us.
Oh, that's right. All right. So, your insight tells you that they like you because you're rich, and everybody here is poor and desperate. So, outsiders with money will get flocks of people smiling and coming to you for handouts, and you just handed off 10 silver pieces. So you are Mr. Moneybags, and people just saw that, and the word is spreading fast. So you're very popular everywhere.
Perhaps we shouldn't spread our coin too freely. This is starting to attract some potential ne'er-do-well.
This is for a good cause.
True.
And we have plenty. We have plenty to spare for our mission here. One last question, my friend Dwarf here. What about the fire elemental group? Where would they be?
Group? What are you speaking about? I don't know anything about a group of fire people.
Do they have any? Do we have any shrines around of other elementals?
Shrines. There are shrines, but they are shrines to the pantheon of Ram, all the spirits and powers that the people praise. They're totems and idols all up and down the causeway of the ascetic row. So he tells you that any temples to old gods or temples to the elemental deities have been completely obliterated and are laying in ruin. So any that worship the elementals would be living in secret, although surely some must exist.
Well, they're most likely. Well, I'm not telling him that, but they're most likely going to realize that when they start seeing the help coming in the city.
You will notice a tremendous plume of smoke coming out of the ghost city in the northeast. The ghost city where the crematory is, the crematorium where all the dead bodies are being burned up.
It's a grim place, huh?
I never did mention the last 5% of town. They are the unclean people that handle dead bodies and the animal flesh, like people that boil the leather do tanning and stuff like that. So that part of town is for the lowest caste of society. They're almost not even allowed into town except for their duties.
I think I'm gonna stop by that place.
The dwarf will tell you to speak to Nanda Shatri when you go there.
Who the frick is this?
At the crematory. That's who runs the crematory. Nanda Shatri.
Alright then.
Alright, so you have a potential contact out in the Ghost City.
It's a grim city, huh? I bet we're gonna see a big difference between that area and the rich part of the city. Huh?
Well, it would be even worse than here. You're in the low quarter, so they're talking about a caste of people that is even below the people that live in the ghetto here in town.
Hey, where's Butterfly?
Probably in the ship if you're not bringing Butterfly into town. The animal would freak people out. Large predator might draw the attention of any number of attackers.
Yeah, I've watched Mighty Nine. I've learned my lesson. Gotta be honest, I'm kind of torn in multiple directions. I don't really know what I'm doing. My usual solution when I arrive in a new town in D&D is just go to wherever is the crappiest and make it as less crap as possible with the cheapest spell I have at hand for doing so. That seems like a bit of a waste as an 18th level character, so I need to think about it more. Actually,
Well, you can
here's an
assist.
idea. Are there any
can
villainous ne'er-do-wells running around that you know of?
Probably. I would suggest speaking with the Laborers Guild.
Noted.
Laborers Guild is run by Guildmaster Rakdos. Sure he knows something about that. Or possibly the arena. Sometimes they bring foul things to the arena to be slain.
Alright, I want to go find that guy.
Well, also, there's bandits everywhere. Not just bandits, but the corrupt. There will be Mansubdars that take taxes for their faction or for whoever controls them, but who knows where that money goes. So you're basically just a stick-up that the police will do. It's so corrupt that everybody's like a Mexican cop with a bad reputation of demanding money from everybody. Not everywhere, but he warns you that some parts of town are like that. It varies a lot because who knows? Like different parts of town are controlled by different nobles or different factions, elves, various things. So it could be anything. And he warns you if you go to Circle Market, there are often battles there. So carry your weapon, keep your eyes on a swivel.
I think our greater objective right now should be endear the people of Rom to the fantastical champions of Tyr who bring wonderment and good things wherever they. We're basically going on a PR campaign right now.
Well, you're spreading the word with the priests. That's a good start.
Hey, if we can help the poor, it goes a long ways, for the support and for information in the city.
What is the tallest point in this city?
Probably Queen's Hill.
Where's that?
No, you got to go into the inner city, through the official quarter, past the temple quarter, and then to the inner city, which overlooks the descent down to where the arena's at in the northwest. So you've got a ways to go before you get to the Queen's Hill location. You're on the main street here. They're also going to recommend that you could go check out the Gallery of the Seven Stars. It's one of the sort of tourist attractions in town. It's to the north, and it's on the way to the Coins Quarter. Many people travel to the Coins Quarter, most of the merchants. You'll notice many of the merchant caravans peel off down a northward road that goes out to the Coins Quarter, where House McKay is operating.
Oh. I. My character does good at intrigue. Where's the court?
What, like courts of law for criminals?
No, like where is there like a shared spot the nobles tend to hang out?
Oh, the Temple Quarter, you mean? Or possibly Ascetic Row.
Ascetic row sounds like the opposite of nobility. It sounds like that's the same as saying Poverty Street.
Let's see, where's the entry for Ascetic Row? I think that's the one I described with all of the shrines.
All right, let's go there. I think all roads lead to Ascetic Row.
So opposite the Coins Quarter under Rom's western gate is the Temple Quarter, the spiritual center of the city-state. Small shrines devoted to the 1,000 spirits and powers venerated by Romites crowd the wide thoroughfare that winds northwest to the city, to the Queen's Hill. Each shrine boasts idols, mosaics, and friezes depicting the city's pantheon. Scattered among the older structures are the Upabadnas, the shrines dedicated to Abalok Ray's dubious sponsor, Badna. You'll probably even see a couple statues of Badna with his 4 arms.
Alright, what is happening here?
Not much.
Hey, Ninja, how would you deem how plant growth works? If I use it instantaneously, would I be able to harvest a really big herb and use it? Or would it, like, shrink back if I try to harvest it and move it somewhere?
Let me check. Well, it's an instantaneous effect. If you cast a spell over 8 hours, you enrich land, but you're just casting it on a single plant. So it just doubles its size, right?
It doesn't specify double. It just says it, like, makes it grow, and where is it? I cast it with action. If I do it like instantaneously, all the plants in a normal 100-foot radius become thick and overgrown. It doesn't specify how big they grow extra.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna go with double. So you'd have to gather some plants, find the spot where there are some, and then make them grow, and then you'd get twice the amount.
Okay. I want to try to do that. I'll make some grow really big, and then I'll also do the longer duration one where it grows everything in a half-mile radius, and that'll be like a more prolonged like growth for the year, that they can harvest it more slowly over time.
All right, making a note. 8 hours, half mile. And then if you're hanging out for 8 hours finding plants, maybe people could do some checks for materials while you're in the area, within that 100-foot radius area. They could all try to find some materials. kind of want to open my PDFs, but I'm nervous about opening more apps, raising my temperatures. I'm in Fahrenheit, so 165 isn't as scary as it probably sounds to Canadians.
If I can find one of the few druids who are sticking around, I'm gonna offer them one of the tree seeds from the bag of infinite seeds, and tell them to plant it here. That will help stabilize the land, and maybe help them with their really poor agriculture skills.
All right. Well, when you get to the temple quarter, 'cause that's sort of the direction you were heading, up in Queen's Hill, there's gardens. So your best bet at finding a druid's going to be in the gardens of Queen Hill. Commanding a view of the entire city-state, Queen's Hill, a steep grassy ridge in the northwestern corner of Rom. Recent troubles have seen the hill's elegant gardens and quiet pools are replaced with imposing walls, breastworks, and bristling ditches. So there's an angry druid there, and he's repairing some damage that the construction has done to the grasses and the shrubberies. Let me generate a good name for him.
The city is in big need of help, huh?
Yeah, it seems that way, doesn't it?
So this is doing better than most, actually. Only a spot of disease, non-tyrannical authority figures, an arena you might actually enjoy. This is practically paradise compared to everything else.
It's like America.
All right. Tavine is an elf, a bit of a nomad, a traveler passing through town. Decided to look at the gardens. Very angry. Look at the damage they have done, she shouts. So it seems even here, even in the fancy gardens of the upper city, there have been battles between the noble houses. You see a lot of defensive fortifications here and there to help the Mensubdars in the defense of the noble districts. I guess you never know when a battle's going to pop up in Rom between these factions. They really don't seem to like each other very much. They're very nice to you and your group, but not so much to each other. When you get to the temple quarter, you're going to be able to buy accommodations. Everybody has to pay a silver, so 4 silver, 1 from each of you.
I think I'm being struck with a spot of decision paralysis. What's a Mansabdar again?
They're the police, the knights, the mercenaries, the warriors that serve the different factions, but they're not unified like a normal city guard. They are each serving a different master. Many of them are corrupt.
Okay.
If your party's up in Queen's Hill, you can see that there's the Sepulchre of Bodna. Pretty fancy shrine. There's
Okay, I think
also
I see the problem.
the Hall of Conquest and the Royal Barracks and the Ivory Palace, if anybody would like to buy the very expensive 1 gold room in the Ivory Palace. You could explore the Palace of Abalok Ra, Fallen Sorcerer Queen. That's an experience that few people would get to experience, but if you have the money, you can buy your way in.
I think the problem we're having right now is that our ultimate objective is to turn this place into It's the enclave of Tyrian ideals. But the problem is, we can't appeal to the people at large because there's no unifying factor binding them together. There's no cause that we could use our power to support
Well,
to then make them like us because they're all just a bunch of random
there's
shoved up
plenty.
cities.
There's plenty. There's cities upside down.
Yeah, but like, oh, you help the disease. All right, people here like you more now. But that doesn't really direct
No,
unity.
but we have to start looking at what they're looking for. And unity, like, will come from them. We're not gonna force that on anyone.
Ooh.
But we have to find maybe help them, like find a way to make that happen, so they can actually like tolerate each other and work together. It'd be a lot more beneficial than doing that than like even trying to turn them against each other. They're already kind of against each other, fighting for their own thing.
I'd like to ask someone about the disease.
Which one, though?
The first one you said, the one that isn't the red ache.
Okay. So, wheezing death. It takes several days to incubate if you've caught it from somebody who's coughing on you. You'll immediately notice that you grow very, very sick. Some people in the know, like the priest of Badna, will tell you to watch out for ticks. They think that it's spread by ticks. Many of the mangy animals in the city are covered in the things. But if you get it, you get the wheezing death. And it causes large pus-filled bubbles to form in the inside and outside of your airways, like your throat, your trachea. And it causes a slow, painful suffocation. And in the final stages, the victim begins to wheeze, gasp, and fight for air almost constantly, and maybe even die. You'll notice the dead bodies were sort of black and blue from their suffocation.
So, one thing that the fire cleric from the ship will do is that he's always going to be at the entrances of buildings, and when people are coming in, he's gonna protect them against fire, have them step in the flames, kill all the bugs that they might have on them.
All right.
That way we don't have to bring fleas in these buildings or bring them back to the ship or anything like that.
While you were walking through the streets, you noticed there were rats everywhere. I can't oversell how many rats there are in this town. They are thriving, and a lot of them have been eating dead bodies.
Oh, frick, the bubonic plague. I didn't want to play Dishonored today.
So as far as plague-covered animals, they're hard to avoid because they're everywhere, and if you've got food on you, they're definitely going to try to get at it whenever you stop somewhere.
I'm going to grab one of these things.
You're going to capture a rat?
Yes.
Rat catcher!
I needed one of these.
Nearby people will clap. Not enough people do the good service of hunting rats in the city of Rom.
This is absolutely not the reason I did that, but I'm not telling them that.
Apparently the rat catchers have not been doing their job. The Laborers Guild is slacking again, they say. The rumor says.
Now that's curious. Okay, I want to check out. Sorry, I know I'm zipping around the place a lot, but I'm trying to find my footing with this. I want to go talk to the head of the Laborers Guild now. That's interesting.
All right. Well, you travel. You find the Laborers Union. Let me see if Rakdos is in. Ooh. That is only a 10% chance. They're going to tell you Rakdos isn't here. Who are you, and why do you seek Master Rakdos of the Laborers Guild? He's a busy man.
The people whisper that the rat catchers are surprisingly unbusy. I do not believe them, but I would like to find the source of these rumors.
Well, the guild representative that is there can tell you about the available quests from the Laborers Guild. We need somebody who can go into the sewer system. Apparently, rats, vermin have been nesting in the sewers and clogging the pipes, and it's causing the water to become toxic and diseased and to not flow properly. So we need somebody to go in there with enough strength to break down these verminous nests. In addition to that, throughout the city, pest control is needed. Rats feast upon the city's grain supplies, and they must be eradicated. Currently, the rat population is at 100%. Something must be done.
I'm sorry, as opposed to 50%.
Well, I mean, it's just, it's like a quest marker. If you do something about it, there will be a lower percentage.
Have you tried poisoning them?
Poison, yeah, many people try, but I mean, poison is, not something that is easily available everywhere. Not many people know how to handle it. Not many people are into alchemy that would know about the poisonous plants and how to brew a poisonous potion out of it.
This is a mess. You should learn to build your buildings to protect against these vermin.
And last but not least, cremation. Many plague corpses lay in the streets around the city. Workers are required to bring the bodies to the crematorium outside the city and burn them.
No, that shouldn't be too much of a problem.
Hey, burning cleric. I feel like I can trust you to take care of this side of the problem.
I will.
Burn corpses kill large amounts of swarm-type enemies.
Maybe I can make this a massive sacrifice.
That's what I was thinking, but I don't think I'm needed for this one.
To the Lord of Flames, and have maybe the Lord of Flames can assist the city with all these issues.
I'll just leave you to it then.
Dead body disposal. It's a job. This is the laborers' union. You can also hire people. There are many people that are out of work that the union rep could get in contact with. So if you need somebody to do unskilled labor or skilled labor, unskilled laborers.
Actually.
And your ship is badly damaged, but it's far from the city.
Yeah.
Okay, how much would it take to repair it?
Well, you have carpenters that are on board currently repairing it, but if you really want to do a good job repairing it, you need to find a airship dock like in Nibene or Tyr, and park your ship, and then they can get at all the nooks and crannies that need repair.
It's the plan after we're done here to stop by Nibene, get it fixed, and fly out to the next adventure.
Basically, repairing external damage on an airship while it's flying like high up in the air is so dangerous that
Give me all of your money right now, and I will consider it.
That your carpenters really probably can't do a lot of the repair from the ship while it's flying. It needs a dock.
Imagine doing repairs on a freaking plane while it's in motion.
Right. It would be insane. Your carpenters are not equipped for that. There's not enough rope to make them cool with climbing around outside a flying airship going 5 miles per hour.
A helicopter.
Like if the ship is parked on a not windy day, they might rappel down the side and hammer some nails in.
Fair enough.
How much labor would 30 gold get me?
That's a lot. Half the town.
Well, okay, so he was about to quote prices. It's 2 bits per week of unskilled labor, and it's 1 ceramic piece per week of skilled labor per person.
You just hire the entire city.
So incredibly minor, trivial amounts. These people are so poor that money would go a long way. However, when they see your money, they will say, oh, don't you have real money?
What?
Real money.
We need to buy some of their currency.
So
such as
they're gonna show you a handful of coins. One of the locals. So he says, "Here, this. Well, I don't have one, but it's called a golden abalak for the very wealthy, named after the former sorcerer queen. It's got her face stamped on it. Then, more common, silver viziers. I have one of those. You can see it here. Then we have these. These are called commons, and he shows you what looks like a ceramic piece, but it's got like a little square hole cut out of it. And each of the little 10 pieces has a little eye symbol on it. And it's stamped out of ceramic. And if it were to be broken up into the 10 pieces, each of those 10 pieces is called a slave. A tenth of a common is called a slave.
that seems like you made the price of human life very low, but okay.
So if you hired an unskilled laborer, you would pay 2 slaves per week for that one unskilled laborer.
So like,
And then the skilled laborer, you would pay 1 common per week for that skilled laborer.
can he not just take the crown?
What, a gold coin? That's for the rich folk.
They would get killed for carrying that kind of money.
Are you really going to give them, like, gold coins? Is that your plan here?
I mean, it kind of was.
You're gonna get them in trouble.
What? For frick's sake.
That's okay. We'll go by their. We'll go and buy some of their.
Okay, hold on a second. Let me just think. Let me think for a moment. Is there any part of the city that's like fallen into disrepair?
Everywhere.
But-
Everywhere.
The union rep laughs. He says, "Oh, the work is never done. These tremors, these
Okay.
earthquakes, they do so much damage. We're constantly rebuilding."
Can you? What is old?
Earthquakes.
So you're one of the workers, huh? You know how things move around and how business is done, where your resources are coming from, huh?
Yes.
Can you tell me what does the city needs the most to get back on its feet, to start working in the right direction?
Well, he'll lament in the golden age of Ram. In the good old days, the gem mines overflowed with every kind of gem you could imagine. The wealth that flowed out of our gem mines was astonishing. The viziers, they could buy 1,000 slaves per day. Ridiculous sums of money. Diamonds, emeralds, sapphires, rubies. But the gem mines, they completely tapped out, emptied out. The whole business, the industry ruined. Currently, the Vizier Ekman still handles gem exchange among the nobles, but no new gems are being produced by our mines, and haven't been for many years now.
And you don't have any other resources around here?
Well, if you wish to discuss trade, the general economy is silver, gems, flint, jute, silk, carpets, textiles, and art. Oh, and the arena.
Yeah.
Could you repeat that?
Okay. So their mines no longer
Put it in the Discord.
their mines no longer produce a whole lot of gems, but they do have gem mines. They also mine for silver. There's stone flint that they mine from the hills. There's jute and silk that they get from silkworms. Jute is a fibrous plant. They make carpets, textiles, and fine artworks. One of the world's most famous sculptors lives here in town. Here, I'll drop a lot of this in the Discord. The short list. The short trade list. So this is what ROM does have, so just invert that. Everything else is what they don't have. What they do have in good supply is a lot of water, although it's currently tainted and diseased. But they don't have food. You'll notice nothing on that export list is food.
We might be able to help. We're building alliance all along the main road here, leading towards here, towards Nibene. And in the city, what would you think, in your opinion, like would be the best way to reunite all parts of the city, because I see that there's a big difference between the poor and the rich. You have dying population, and you have a few that are thriving. But from the rest of the world, when we look inside of Rome, everyone says that the city is falling apart.
It is. It has been for years. Even before Abalakra was dead, the city was in chaos, on the verge of civil war. It's only intensified since her death. The power
How did she
vacuum.
die anyway?
She was slain by Sadira of Tyr. How do you not know this, Tyrion?
Yeah.
Listen, I know many things. It's difficult to keep track of them all.
It's only
She
the
was
biggest
killed.
news that's ever happened. You're talking to Ramites about their queen dying.
She was killed by one of her allies.
From their perspective, that
Yeah.
was the biggest news in like centuries, maybe millennia.
Hey, you know those unbeatable gods? The one that rules you's dead.
Mhm.
And who do you think can bring back this under control? Is there a way
Well,
that we can?
okay, if you're asking the Laborers Guild, they're probably not going to be thinking too favorably about any of the Nawab warlords. You know, warlord is a dangerous word. They will say it in hushed tones. They don't want to offend any of the Nawab, but that's what they are, as warlords. Each of them vying for power and control. So I suppose you would have to either support one over the others to end the civil war, or eliminate them all in favor of the old power, the Templars. But people aren't real big on that idea. I mean, here's the new boss, same as the old boss. You're going to leave the people that were in charge before in charge now. So people aren't in favor of the Templars either.
I choose none of the above.
If you're talking to the Laborers Guild, he is going to be strongly in favor of House McKay taking over the entire city.
The secret police.
Not secret police, that's already the Kuataga, but House McKay has the funds, the wealth, the contacts, the trade routes, and the military force to hold Rom if they weren't contested by every other large faction in Rom.
What if the Templars join McKay? That would probably change the balance of things a bit.
Possibly. It would be a stronger union, because the Templars are quite weak in Rom. Many of them
Yeah.
won't even leave their rich quarter of town. They won't venture out into the low quarter and meet the impoverished, starving, diseased folk. They stay in the nice part of town behind big gated walls.
And if one of the house ended up with the majority of the support from the lower parts of the city, how big of a sway would they have on everything?
How big of a sway? Well, each of the factions fights each other, and it's chaos. So if one faction was in charge and the other factions had to bow to them, it would end the civil war, and then we could possibly get to the business of repairing other things that need fixing.
And any chance they would all work together?
Well, probably not. Nawab Marham is a human, and quite a corrupt one at that. Nawab Erdenmore, the dwarf, only cares about his arena, really. He doesn't hardly come into the city. He just likes to, fight his battles and count his money. And then Nawab Shiala, the elf. Oh, the Laborers Guild does not like the elves. They have been horning in everywhere, usurping the authority of the Mansubdars and the Viziers and the Templars, and making claims and acting like they have some claim to Rom when they're outsiders from afar, nomads who travel the deserts. What makes them think that they can take root in our city, our human city?
Oh no, the racism is back.
Yep. Yeah, elves are great. Low question, McKay, is that the house that Oren hates?
No, I don't think so.
What's the house that he has something against?
Check. He hates. He hates. House Wavir.
Oh yeah.
Balak.
Okay, so there's not as much of a conflict there, if we were to work on that.
Gotta be honest, I still kind of want to undermine all of these guys. I follow the Freedom Guide, and these guys all sound kind of oppressive.
Well, depending on who you're talking to, they're going to have different opinions. I had to think about it for a minute. So the Laborers Guild would definitely side with the Merchant House McKay.
Mm-hmm.
But if you go back and you talk to the priests of Badna, they would probably be more in favor of the Templars because, you know, all of them were working together. They live in the same part of town. They were all part of the old establishment, so they have that sort of history. And many of them mean well and think that they can run the city well. Like you know, maybe the priests of Badna, they're making a good effort to help the sick. You've noticed they're doing the work to try to clean up the dead bodies and take care of the people that are diseased. Although their ability to deal with it is limited because supplies are also limited.
Yeah, and McKay would probably be a good ally for them if we wanted to bring in the resources for that.
Here's what I'm seeing right now. I'm seeing a bunch of people who really, really shouldn't be collectively or singularly in charge.
Yep.
And of them, a guy we should probably go murder. But after, I guess I don't have a shape in mind. I'm lacking vision at the moment for what exactly to do with this place. Because I could throw the entire place into chaos with a properly utilized spell, but that doesn't really help us in the aftermath.
It seems like the worst thing your party can do is throw an earthquake at a town, and this town's already having them.
Yeah.
Not that kind of chaos. Mean subtle dream manipulation type Palpatine nonsense.
Yeah, you haven't tried that
This
yet.
town doesn't seem like it's having like fissures though, like the earthquakes would do, or worse.
Look, I have an idea. I have a new plan, and I like this plan that I just had.
The earthquakes are doing structural damage, and it is collapsing buildings. So just because there's not a giant fissure underfoot, it's because the ground is soft, so the fissures close up pretty quick.
So the plan that I have is this human Greedo man. My plan is I was going to visit him in his dreams and try to Scrooge his arse so he's a less crap person.
There's probably, like, to Morg's druid senses, there's probably tremendous energy under Rom. It's in the geology of Rom. There's a lot of water. There's a massive aquifer, and it's heated by lava underneath, and it's producing tremors and, you know, probably like geysers of steam occasionally. There might be hot springs somewhere. That's one of the things that Rom has going for it is it's got a lot of water, but it's probably a little bit sulfurous because of the geology underneath.
Yeah, well, something that can be dealt
Sometimes
with.
Rom doesn't have a water cleric
Yeah,
presence.
even like a magma cleric.
Yeah, either would be interested in the terrain, the environment.
You know what we should bring here is the father of that guy we know, the druid of magma.
Oh yeah.
Ooh, I kind of have an inspiration for what a new kind of income source could be for the town. Maybe they could open up a tourist attraction of like hot springs and stuff.
You might have to end the plague before tourism would really perk up in town here.
We can work on the plague.
Yeah, the plague is yeah.
I had an idea, and you told me if I'm wrong. Okay, we bring in a bunch of grains and some fat, and then we mix it with the herbs that heals, you know, the medicinal herb, and then we make small balls, and then we take the airship and spread them all around the fields where the rats are, and try to heal these animals.
Hmm.
That way, they stop getting sick and stop the spreading of all the disease.
It'd take a long time to cast Cure Disease on that many rats.
Well, it's not cure disease, but it's more like spreading the herbs that heal, like that will heal them.
Well, those would be edible herbs. You
Yeah,
consume them, and they'd probably help with your
yeah.
save.
So we can mix them with the grain and make like a bait for animal,
Okay, yeah.
and then spread that. I'm not like inventing this. This is like how they deal with rabies a lot
Yep.
and stuff like that, and population of raccoons and things like that. But we could maybe do that for rats and use grain. You know, they're gonna go for the grain, and that might take them from eating the food source of the people. And at least like we can bring down the disease level, and then have clerics like help and more herbs and treating the people in the low quarters. You know, and that would make us like fucking local heroes. You know, if you can heal the city.
Anyway, I think it's time for the first phase of the scheme.
I think the first phase is to collect all the dead corpse and make
Yeah,
a
the
giant
first phase is
fire.
the purge. Let our arrival be known to all with a great cleansing conflagration.
Yeah, and we can collect a lot of people too to come and take a look at the bonfire.
You know, that's a good idea. Actually, I'm gonna set some whispers through the city as I come join the great journey. We will cleanse the disease from our fair city.
Yeah, and we can set a
Our
big
fair
fire.
collapsing
I can give immunity to people to flames and the other fire cleric, and we can like have them walk through the fire to get rid of a bunch of the bugs that might be able to cut to like, and if we have excess food, we could feed the people too, as many as we can. They'll bring a lot of people in the same spot where we can, you know, try to clear them of some of the issues.
All right, so you want to hunt for herbs, you want to buy grains, you want to make the rat bait, you want to collect the bodies. You've got a lot of goals here. All of these things are going to consume a bunch of your time.
Yeah.
That's fine. I think a bit of time passing would help.
We can put all this together, and then we can fly to Nibane to get the ship fixed. And a lot of that stuff can happen during, like, preparation can happen during that downtime.
All right, so you... Let's see, did you get a room at the temple quarter, or are you going to go to the palace?
I want to go to the fancy place.
You want to go to the palace. So everybody had to pay gold if you're going to stay at the palace. So once you have a room, then you can sort of set out into the city and begin working. You can devote however many hours you want to it. Collecting all the dead bodies is sort of an ongoing task, and there's new bodies all the time. So it's just however many hours you throw at it, you'll probably accomplish a certain amount during that period, and then we can do the sacrifice.
I want to bring some food. I want to feed workers, and just increase the number of people collecting the bodies, and like pay them.
So you want to hire some of the laborers to collect bodies?
Oh yeah, there's disarray, so we can hire like with some of that gold they were talking about earlier, and we can hire a lot of people.
Well, nobody actually, pulled the trigger on that. So the gold was considered, but I
Alright.
cautioned that it was a tremendous amount of money. You'd be like hiring
Oh yeah.
a couple thousand people for 40 gold.
No, I know, but no, I'd spend like 3 gold. You know, it's quite a bit. You can get a lot of food for that, and you can get a lot of labor for like for a week. You know, with all that. And it's also like if we need to spend a little bit more for like clothing and stuff like that, that way they're protected like a little bit more while they're handling like the dead people. And then like increase the speed at which we're like cleaning the street, so we can
It says here with
minute.
3 gold you could hire 1,500 unskilled laborers to collect dead bodies.
Well, we're gonna hire. Yeah, we'll hire that. We're gonna clean the fucking city from all the dead.
All right. Well, you are like Elon Musk rolling into town. You just hired 1,500 people for the next week.
Well, let's say that it's half. Let's say that it's a half, and we're feeding them. And we want to bring the people also to also to tell them to come in when we're gonna burn them.
Okay.
We have as many people as possible seeing that, and maybe the Lord of Flame will give us a nice reward to help all those people. And is there any good bards in the city?
Yes, you can definitely find bards here and there.
Yeah, I'd like a higher level because I'd like to have that person blessing me with a strong bardic inspiration and for entertainment.
Okay. The best bard you can find to hire is going to have a +5 on his skill checks, and then he'll have the the inspiration that you rolled the dice, which is a D8, I think.
Okay. D8 and a +5.
Well, the +5 is if he's going to go perform for you, and
Oh, yeah, well, you can perform, yeah.
But
That's
just for the
fine.
bardic inspiration, it's just a D8.
Well, it's better than nothing.
So, Bard, he's a skilled hireling. He's going to cost just like 1 CP. Not very expensive.
So I'll spend 6 gold total, okay? And we're gonna have a big feast. We're gonna bring as much food as possible for that event.
Okay.
I want to bring as many people as possible in a large space where people can, they're not all too crowded. And we'll do some body purification as they're walking through. They're gonna have to have a little bit of guts and trust us to step in the fire while we're around.
Yeah. All right. Well, this is quite a checklist. So you were at the Laborers Guild, and you fork over a whole bunch of money, and you tell them what your plans are. So I'm going to check that you've hired the laborers, and they're doing body collection for 1 week, which is going to probably take care of that problem pretty good.
And they're well fed too. I want to make sure that they have that.
Is this gonna fuck up the town's economy?
No, it helps. I mean, they needed it.
Economy is just a symbolic representation
It's
of
like-
the contributions of its members.
Hey, and you know what? We might end up with like a special named day after all this, under our action. Like we'll be the new St.
Burning
Patrick's.
Day,
A holiday. They're going to build you a shrine in their pantheon.
the
We'll be
third.
That'll be the new St. Patrick's, for Rom.
Saint of rats now, Grimhorn.
Yeah.
So I think
I wouldn't exactly call them that.
since you are doing sort of like a downtime activity and doing a whole bunch of work, you could split up a little bit. So maybe Morg could go look for those herbs and do that part and take care of the plant growth that he was talking about.
I'm gonna go do my spoon plan.
Because he
One
needed
last
8
thing.
hours to cast the spell, too. So that's like the same amount of time it would take to do a bunch of work.
We're getting ourselves a lot of favors, huh? People are probably liking us.
Well, as I said earlier, you were already well liked right out of the gate because everybody loves outsiders that are bringing in money and jobs and medicines. So
That's kind of cheating.
they're fighting
Like,
each
oh, I
other.
already liked you because you had money. You liked our money. It's different.
Well, the town has hit hard times, so if rich people roll into town, it helps them a lot.
And can I ask, for people that seems to be happy, if they've heard rumors about that item I'm looking for?
You describe the Ember Heart, and
No.
people Let's see. If the Laborers Guild, oh yeah, 95%. They definitely know about the Ember Heart. They're going to tell you that the Ember Heart is in the possession of one of the Nawab warlords by the name of Urdenmore, a militant dwarf who controls the arena. He's got one of the largest standing armies as well.
I'm gonna defensively head there when we have a minute. I'm gonna have to call Taurus and tell Taurus to come in town. We need him for an arena fight.
Put on a show.
Yeah, and I need him to fight for our cause, in our name. He's gonna be our champion.
Nice.
I like the idea that we can just summon Taurus now.
Can I actually summon Taurus for this, Ninja?
I mean, he is a great hunter. He is strong.
He's gonna want the challenge and the title, you know.
Wouldn't you need a couple days to like teleport to Tyr and teleport back?
Yeah. Yeah, I could do that.
So I mean, it's doable if you want to tack on 2 more days to our downtime.
Yeah, that's fine. Like we're like all this process of collecting and you know, it's gonna take us like at least a week, and you know, and trying to make that rat bait as well. It's gonna be a little time consuming. That's gonna be part of that workforce too, is to create that bait, to put it together.
Taurus is going to complain that he's busy training troops, and he doesn't want to go away from his training. It says here there's like a 75% chance that he doesn't want to leave.
I'm gonna insult him and tell him that he's weak, and that this would be an opportunity to show his might and strength to the region. What a missed opportunity, and we're gonna have to make sure that we talk bad to all the other gladiators in this town about him if he does not come.
Well, I gave you advantage, but he still wants to stay in town and finish his training. He says, don't you have somebody else you could call on?
Yeah, maybe your wife.
What
every night.
What about your giant that we got in that adventure way back then, he says.
What, my fire giant?
Your fire giant. He's as big as I am. Almost.
They're trying to play freaking Pokemon. It's like, no, I don't want to go. For frick's sake.
Well, no,
I should have gotten the cerulean badge before I came here.
before he left, he said he had plans where he was going to train a friggin' army. So he is currently, like, living his dream as the Tyrian general. He's equipping his troops. He's planning the next battle that's going to be against Balak or whatever. Like, he's all about it. So he will tell you, I can't leave Tyr. I can't leave it undefended. We travel too much, and I'm the only person here that can handle this.
So all these arena fights work though. Like, how do you how can you fight? What, can you bring all your equipment, or?
Well, anybody can enter the arena, but mostly this is a spectator sport. You go to the arena and you make bets.
Yeah, but if I have to win like a battle, could I enter as one of the fighters?
You certainly could. You could win a single battle, but there wouldn't be much point to it.
I need to find a way to convince that guy that I need that item.
Ah,
have to
yes.
challenge him.
You got to talk to him.
I'm
See
gonna
what
head
it'll
there.
take.
Once you guys do your stuff, I'd like to go there, and you guys might want to talk to that dude because he's one of the big heads of the city, I think.
All right. Well, people will tell you if you want to get to the arena, you're going to have to leave town. You go outside town and you travel almost a mile to the northwest, and you're going to find it.
Oh, there's the K on the map?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, cool. And suddenly there are rumors in the city of Rome that Taurus the might have a micro penis.
Oh my god.
When he comes to town and hears those rumors, he's going to be mad.
He's gonna have to get some new wives. Just to
Yeah.
do it all.
That's what happens when he doesn't come in and help us. You might want to send him a message, Ninja, to Joe, and let him know that there's rumors.
Oh my gosh.
He's going to love that. All right, so you're going to probably been 3 days. You've gone to Tyr and you've come back.
Well, if I do that, like if I end up going to Tyr and teleport, I can probably buy a big bundle of these herbs and bring them in.
Yeah. Just tell me how much money you're spending. You can in Tyr you can buy a lot. So it's
Yeah,
basically just up to you.
We need a fuckload. Like we need like barrels of these herbs.
So there are 5 ceramic pieces each in Tyr. So like if you wanted to buy let's see, if you buy 20 of them, it's 100 CP, so that's like 1 gold piece for 20.
How far does that go? I need to create like enough of bait for these rats.
That's your call. Let's see, 5 times that. That would be 5 GP for 100. And this is for herbs, right? This isn't even like healer's kits or herbalist kits.
No, this is just for the bait.
Okay. So you source 100 of the herb for 5 gold.
Okay.
The apothecaries are probably gonna have to pool their resources. You're buying up something that's semi-rare. They probably have a lot more than Rom has, but they have to
Yeah.
get it from everywhere around town and they're grabbing
Well,
what's available.
I'm gonna tell them like if they give me a little bit more, what I'll do, I'll put a good word for them. They can probably sell a lot to Ram,
Okay.
and we'll put you in contact with these clerics because they are going to be big buyers.
Yes.
So it's a good avenue, and then they can start trading and supply because that's going to take a while to heal everybody in that city. It's going to take a lot of it.
All right.
And tell them that they can work with the House McKay for transportation because they're very influential in Ram.
Yep. Caravans from House McKay travel to and from Tyr fairly regularly. They can carry whatever's available.
Yeah, and I kind of give them like an idea of what they need in the city, like what we've observed, because it's there's some help in there, but not enough.
Yep.
A little bit like what we've done to help Nimbadane when they were falling apart after the giant event.
Yeah. Let's see here. So the natural arena of Rom. It's very noisy. So as you approach it, you're going to hear the roar of the crowd. There's tremendous stadium seating, and it's absolutely packed with citizens of Rom. And they're looking down from this elevated position on the mound, the big stone mound. They're looking down across the crevasse at the arena floor. And here in the middle of the arena, there's warriors that are duking it out.
Where's the head of this place? I asked one of the guards.
So maybe you see a couple gladiators, they're fighting. There are Mansubdars that are guarding this place, and one of the Mansubdars is going to see you approach, and he takes note of your wealth. And he says, "You there! Have you paid your tax? If you travel these roads, you must pay your tax."
Well, we don't use your roads, we use the sky.
You're walking on them now, aren't you?
I can start flying if you want. You can try to catch me.
Are you saying you don't have the 5 ceramic pieces to pay your toll?
We're helping the entire city to get better. I think you owe us a little bit of respect there.
When you approach the arena, there are Mansubdars. The Mansubdars at the arena, they work for the dwarf Erdenmore. You were trying to find Erdenmore. They know where he is, but they don't answer your questions. They see that you've got money, and their job is to collect money from people that travel on the roads and enter the arena, which is you. And so he's hitting you up for money right now. And if you don't pay your toll, he's got a whole bunch of guards behind him that are looking at you with a bit of an evil grin.
Oh,
What
if
are you going
you
to do
if
with
you
them?
if you think that's going to stop us from getting in, you're
Hold
wrong.
on, I feel like interrogating this man.
Are you
What are you going to-
lawbreakers? Do you break the law of Ram? Would you break the peace and trespass upon our sacred ground?
As far as I know, you're just a bunch of regulars trying to steal our money.
We're the official gate guards of the arena. Look at our armor, and he shows off the emblems of his house.
Is it made of fire drake?
No, it's quite ordinary. It's probably made out of scale.
What if we
He's got weapons made out of flint and wood, and he's got hide armor with scales on it. Nothing too impressive.
I challenge you to a duel.
Alright, whatever.
All right, well, you easily defeat the guard. He doesn't put up any fight because your armor class is too high for him to hit you. Okay.
Yeah, and I'm an old cleric.
He's defeated, and he says, "I'll remember this."
You take me to your leader now.
All right. The other guards are a little bit shocked that you so easily defeated their leader.
You didn't answer my question, by the way.
What was your question?
What do you want to do with the money?
I mean, it's the fee for entering the arena. What are you talking about?
I just paid our way in. Don't worry.
I just need to check. Is that actually a thing, or are you making it up to get our money?
Well,
I was able to get a. Huh?
that's up for your interpretation. You beat up the front person, the security at the gate. So.
Give me the honest answer, or I'm directly prying into your minds to find it.
He's gonna.
Oh, he tries to resist your psychic abilities. He does roll an 18. What's your DC?
It's like 19 or above.
19. Oh, well, he came close. But you pry into his mind, and from his perspective, he is the official tax collector of the gate entrance, and he's just doing his normal job. Most people pay the fee.
I'm gonna heal the guy, ninja.
Okay.
I'm not there to fucking this guy up.
I mean, it's half a silver. It's not that much to get in.
That's a matter of principle.
Anyway, listen, mate. Let this be a lesson to you, okay? There are many dangerous monsters in this world. I am not one of them.
Are you calling me a monster?
You were told that there were a lot of corrupt guards doing shakedowns on people in this exact way, so I can't blame you for beating him up instead of paying to get into the arena. But that is kind of his job.
Just be cautious, alright? You never know when some shady figure can actually crush your skull with his brain.
All right, so he's going to tell you that you have to go around to the rich person's part of the arena where they sit up in the stands there, where those openings in the rock look down on the arena.
We're looking for a dwarf that is a little bit more distinguished than the other.
So let's say you were at the gates here. You're gonna have to go down here
Okay.
and around the crevasse and work your
Put
way.
our I'll put our characters there.
And that's gonna get you up into the bleachers, into the stands here. You're all giants.
I look for the leader. They do a perception through the crowd.
All right, roll it. There are many viziers and templars in attendance in the in the skybox overlooking the arena.
Minimum of 21. Yeah, it's 21.
All right, yeah, you spot a large group of very wealthy-looking people, including a large number of dwarves, and a whole bunch of mole gladiators as well. Tough-looking mole gladiators. Bodyguards seem to surround him as well. Although here, this is like the rich bleachers, and there's not that much threat from anybody, so it's only a handful of high-level gladiator bodyguards. So you approach Erden Moore, one of the leaders, one of the faction leaders of Rom. What do you say?
Your attention, sir. We are the hero of Tyr. And my name is Gramorn, lead cleric of the Fire Temple. And I was told that you have an item that is dear and precious to the Lord of Flame. And I'm here to collect it.
Oh, are ya? The Ember Heart. Many people have thought they could claim the Ember Heart from me, but you can't. I've got it locked up in a secret location. None will find it. I even paid one of the scions from the very reputable House of Sionmark to erase my memory of its location, so that even I couldn't tell you where it is.
Wait, repeat that sentence.
So he hid it in a secret vault, and then he had his memory of where he hid it erased, so that no psychics could dig into his brain and steal that information.
I'm tempted to try to restore your memory.
Yeah, could you work on that, Ringside? Any chance you can do something? Like
No, I'd rather. What is it gonna take for you to just give it to us?
Give it to you. Give it to you. He jokes, I wouldn't give it to anybody unless they helped me win this entire war.
Win this war? Which war?
Ah, the war against the nobles, of course.
Against the nobles, huh?
I must defeat
And what?
I must defeat my rivals, Nawab Marham, that bastard, and Shialha, the elf that thinks she can horn in and take this city out from under us.
And why do you deserve to be in charge?
Well, I run the arena, a very popular place in Rom. I am one of the biggest hirers of the poor people. Many fight in my arena games, and they earn a fair wage. And in my arena, we don't often fight to the death, though some do fall in battle, but that is not the intent. We fight only briefly to first blood, or to a surrender, and we allow those who survive to surrender with honor. So this is not an arena of death. This is a good place of industry, and it promotes the arts and the wealth of the land. I feel like I am the best to represent the dwarves and the moles who make up a large portion of Rom. 20% of Rom is dwarves, another 10% is mole. That's a full third of the city.
Okay, listen. Why could you not just rule with them?
We've been fighting for a long time. The blood feud has ravaged the city. They've
What do you
done
think of-
too much to me to ever be
What is your-
forgiven.
What's your relationship with the House McKay?
House McKay. I have dealings with them. Everyone does.
And the Templars and the clerics?
The Templars are too weak to matter. The clerics, they're concerned with the plague and the spirituality of the people.
Yeah, which might make them actually more popular than you are with the people from the lower parts of the city.
It is mainly the other Nawab warlords who I am in contest with. Each of them seeks to undermine and defeat me, and I them.
And if we were to change the tie of things, you would promise that you would give me that the item that I'm looking for.
If you help me win this war and take the crown in Rom, I will indeed give you the Ember Heart.
And do you think you'd get the support from the other parts of the city? What do you think that House McKay would say? What do you think of the laborers would say?
The laborers and the dwarves get along. House McKay buys our products. My gripe is mainly with the elves. Elves and dwarves don't get along very much in Rom.
Let me ask you. I have a hard question for you then. What do you think of
here
the
either.
What do you think of the Sorcerer Kings?
I'm glad Abalak Ra is dead. He spits on the ground. Your Sadira did us a great favor.
And you know that we have an independent city in Tyr now.
He nods.
And would you like to make an alliance if we were to make this happen for you?
Certainly.
Yeah. I look at the rest of the group. I want to see what they're saying, what they're looking at.
Does seem to be the most favorable. I
He'll
don't
tell
see
you
what
that
anything
his
specific the Templars would achieve.
his worst enemy is Marham. Marham is a crime lord. He's very unscrupulous, very criminal, and he has many Mansubdars under his service. So he's going to tell you the elves and the humans are his biggest opponents.
And how strong are they?
Each of them controls a third of the city.
But have you heard if they have special powers or like as people individual if we're to face them?
Each of us keeps to ourselves. I never leave my arena, and Shiala never leaves her elves. Marham
here.
Marham rarely leaves wherever he's hiding. I would have killed him by now had he not remained so secretive. He's like the Thieves Guild leader. He's got a hidden base somewhere and nobody can find him.
Where do you sleep?
In the arena here. Well, you're in the skybox. So basically there's a small pyramid, almost a natural pyramid, like it's not made out of big blocks of stone, but it's a natural stone that's been pyramid shaped, hollowed out, and it's got balconies that look down on the arena, and inside the rooms hollowed out within this mountain, they're lavish. They're for the Templars and the Viziers and Abalak Ra herself to observe the arena games here from these fancy rooms. So he lives up here in the skybox. It is like a whole elevated mansion built within a natural pyramid.
Can we borrow your arena for a sacrifice?
Do you tell him your plans to take all the plague corpses and burn them somewhere?
Yeah.
He does not like that idea at all.
I know.
He's going to tell you about the caste system, and he's going to tell you that only the unclean deal in bodies. It would actually lower his status to bring dead bodies into his arena, and that would be like cultural suicide. He'd never do business in this town again.
We're trying to eradicate the sickness out of your city.
He nods. He tells you take him to the ghost town. That's where bodies should go. That's where the untouchables take the corpses of animals and people and burn them. That's where the crematorium is.
Yeah, we will most likely do that. Yeah. But you're more than invited if you want to join the ceremony. You'll be able to see the incredible powers of the Lord of Flames and the purification that we will bring to the city as well.
Just then, there's a roar from the crowd. Somebody's won down in the arena.
Have you, have you ever considered having an intra-city arena battles for contests? We have also a magnificent arena in Tyr, and we have quite the champions.
I've heard of it. I've heard my pyramid pales in comparison to the Great Pyramid of Kalik.
We know the gladiators. We were, for some time, we were captive with them. And if you want, we could have a tournament. That would be quite entertaining, to bring people here or for you to join us here.
He perks up a bit hearing that you had a background as a gladiator in the arena in your heyday. That actually improved his reaction towards you.
Well, our famous battle is when we killed the Sorcerer King during our battle. We were due to be sacrificed.
For a moment, he's distracted looking down into the arena. The arena announcer says that the winner is the blue gladiator. And you can see that both of them survive the fight. One of them has more wounds than the other. Zomo, the human gladiator, battled Zoaldu, the dwarf Myrmidon. And the dwarf won. So he cheers, seeing that his fellow dwarf won. He's quite pleased. He says, "A celebration!" And he calls in for a bunch of slaves to bring in wine.
Oh, racism.
No, he's just cheering for the dwarf over the human. Maybe he knows him personally. Who knows?
Well, we will take in consideration your offer, but if we were to do this, and you are not to give us the item, I will take it personally to act on revenge.
He scoffs. He says, "A dwarf always pays his debts."
Fair.
All right, Lannister.
You believed his deception. Excellent. While you're here... No, I'm joking. While you're here, he says, why don't you partake of the gambling? Everybody who comes here to the Skybox bets. And that's why I was so happy I had money on that match. And he laughs, and you can see one of the other viziers is upset that he's having to pay out a bunch of money. He explains the rules briefly. He says, we've got two gladiators that enter the arena. There's the red gladiator and the blue gladiator. You can bet on either of them. The arena master will tell you who's more likely to win. You can look at them yourself. You can see what weapons they have. Possibly you can determine what sort of toughness they have. You can use your own judgment. You can bet. And depending on the odds, you can double your money.
I will have to engage with this after the fact because I need to be responsible and go to sleep. I can go to work tomorrow.
Yeah, it's getting late. 11:15.
Okay. I'll gamble for you.
Okay, I give him the access to my gold so long as he doesn't take the piss.
Oh, here's the piggy bank.
Party!
So long as he doesn't take the piss.
All right. Yeah, have a good night. Okay, so would you like to place a bet on the next match? Hang on. Before you place a bet, let me show you the contestants. So I'm going to drop it in the Discord, and I'll read it off. In the red corner, Tavion, the elf veteran gladiator, equipped with hide armor and 2 short swords. Your insight says that he has average strength, nimble dexterity, and a weak constitution. In the blue corner, Tadium Eraku, the mole gladiator, equipped with studded leather armor and 2 heart picks. Your insight says they have puny strength, awkward dexterity, and an iron constitution. The arena master says they're about even 1-to-1.
I'm gonna go with dexterity. The red.
The nimble elf. How much do you bet?
I don't know. 1 silver.
You bet 1 silver piece on red. Are you going to make a bet on behalf of Taro?
No, I don't know how much money he has or.
He offered. He said, spend my money, and you said, I will not.
What about you, Morn?
Nah, I'm not really a betting man.
You don't like to gamble, even though you had a background as a gladiator long ago?
I like the fighting part, not into betting on other people if they're gonna win or lose.
Gotcha, gotcha. All right. Well, with that, the battle begins. Let's find out who wins. Dun dun dun. Tavian attacks. He misses. His next attack hits for measly 3 damage, and his third attack misses. His opponent takes advantage of the poor performance. Tadia Mirhako counterattacks. He misses, and he misses again. The winner is the blue team. Ah, you lost your silver.
What?
I clap and I cheer. That was a good fight indeed.
Oh, okay. They're not fighting to the death.
No, it's about performance and whoever has the most health.
Oh, so you get a bet for the one with the most constitution.
If you can drop them to 0 or under, that's the goal in a gladiator match. But it's just based on whoever's got the most health. They're declared the winner.
So it's just 1 round.
Yeah, 1 round, and it's for points.
I'll bet in the next match.
All right. You want to go to the next match?
Yeah.
Let's see who the contestants are. Each one of these matches takes about 10 minutes to reset. During the reset, everybody's drinking that wine that was brought in. There are slaves and servants. There are bards playing music. Compared to the rest of the city, the opulence here is on full display. Apparently a lot of money passes through the arena, and all of the people here are really wealthy. And so you don't see any of the hardship that you saw in the low district. All right. Match 2. In the red corner, Ordu the Halfling. He's a Tiro gladiator. That's a term for a new gladiator. He's still kind of green, but he's considered a full gladiator. He's equipped with splint mail, and he's got a pair of maces. He looks mighty strong. He looks graceful, and his constitution is pretty average for halfling. In the blue corner, you've got Bovebita, the human veteran gladiator. He's equipped with leather armor, and he's got a double-tipped spear that he swings about. Your insight says that he's not very strong, and he's not very dexterous, and he probably has average constitution. The arena master says the odds are fairly even.
2 silver on red.
All right. You bet 2 silver on Ordu the Halfling. Betting on the Halfling over a human.
Yep.
Well.
Little savages.
The fight begins. There's a bell that's rung, and then the 2 contestants close the distance and begin swinging on each other. Ordu attacks. He does 8 damage with his first attack. He does 7 damage with each of his second and third attacks. His opponent, Bovebita, counterattacks, but he misses, and misses. The winner of this match is blue.
What? How's that possible?
Apparently he was just too tough. He had 39 health left.
Yeah, he missed all his attacks.
Yep, but his performance was better.
Okay.
I don't know, maybe I should rethink the way the calculation is done, because it does have the unfortunate circumstance where one person can land all 3 of his attacks and the other person can land none of his attacks and still come out the winner based purely on having more hit points from the get-go.
It probably should be more like based on the average attack.
I could base it on damage done.
Yeah, and health. Yeah, because they're performing more. That's going to be more exciting than somebody who's missing his shots.
You're right. Oh, okay, so when I revise the code, I'm going to change it to where it's damage done. So in this match, you would win. So you're going to get 4 silver.
And I'll, because I win, I'm going to shoot some firebolts in the air.
So keep in mind, you give up 2 silver, and then you win 2 silver, so you end up 2, basically.
And I'm going to entertain people with firebolts in the air.
I'm going to try to set it up 2 ways. So I'm going to do a check to see if they died. So if they get dropped, then the other person wins automatically. But then if nobody is defeated, then it'll be based on who did the most damage. That's more fair because there's half giants, and half giants have like twice as many hit points, so they would almost always win.
Yeah. They're never gonna die.
I've seen it happen though. I was doing a bunch of random rolls, and one of the half giants, he had like the lowest constitution that you'd ever see on a half giant, and all of his hit point dice rolls were like 1 or 3. So the end result was like, even though he was like level 8, he had the hit points of like a 5th level person with a better con score.
He had the plague.
Like, that's on top of having twice as many hit dice. So even though he had all of those advantages, he was still barely as good as somebody 3 levels behind him.
How long it took you to work on that?
A couple hours. Let's do one more.
Yeah.
The third match in this arena tournament. In the red corner, Ordu, the halfling.
No
Wait.
order.
Is that the same thing again? Yeah, hang on. I think it didn't copy. Let me get rid of that one. That is a copy. Uncycle it a bunch and get a fresh one. In the red corner, Kujikar Boim, the halfling gladiator. Boy, a lot of halflings. They're so rare. There's only 1% of the population is halflings, so it seems like all of them are gladiators. He's equipped with studded leather, and he's got a double-tipped spear like the previous gladiator had. This halfling seems mighty strong, kind of dexterous, sort of average, but seems sickly, like he's got the plague. His skin is puffy and red. So he's mighty, but maybe he's a bit weakened by the disease. In the blue corner, Pikoha Fame is a human Myrmidon. Myrmidons are more advanced gladiators, so he's a higher level. He's equipped with half plate, and he's got a couple of short swords. He seems mighty, he seems agile, he seems tough. The Arena Master believes that Pikoha Fame is the clear winner in this match, and so if you bet on the human, you would only get half as much payout. But if you bet on the halfling and he happens to win, you would get a double payout.
No, I put 5 silver on Pico.
All right, you bet 5 silver on blue.
And I put all of Ringsight's gold on. I'm kidding.
All right, the match begins. Kujikar Boim attacks. He does 8 damage, and then he misses his second and third attack. His opponent, Pikoha Fame, counterattacks. He hit for 6 and 5 and 6. So it looks like Pikoha Fame is the clear winner by points. And it looks like the Arena Master concurs. The Red Warrior only had 1 health left. He almost died in that battle.
More firebolts in the air for my celebration.
Everybody in the crowd goes wild with each firebolt that launches into the air. They don't see a spectacle like that very often. So, let's see. You get 25 extra ceramic pieces. So you get your original 5 silver back, and you earn an additional 25 ceramic pieces.
Holy. We're gonna have to come back over here and do some gambling. Once you fix your the algorithm there, that'll be fun.
Yeah, I mean, I can just do it in my head in case it's wrong here.
Oh, yeah, I'll be AFK for a minute.
All right. $11:30. We should probably end it a little bit early. Chris is sick, so I don't want to hold him up too much. He could probably use his rest, and Taro's already gone, so I mostly just wanted to get this little gladiator thing out of the way because I did spend some time constructing a version 1 and a version 2 of this little app. And I think it's pretty cool. It's a big time saver because I would have to make so many dice rolls and check so many tables. And this thing's just so quick and so easy. I just hit one button and it gives me a whole new gladiator match. However, the Arena Master is almost always right about who's going to win. That's one thing that I don't like. There's not as much guesswork involved. Like, it's rarely, like, only if it's 1-to-1 is it up to you to really, like, look at the stats and say, I think this half-giant veteran with Herculean strength is probably going to beat a weak Thrycreen.
I was using the algorithm itself to come up with the stats, to come up with their answer. If you implemented like a margin of error in it though, in your algorithm, you might have better better insights from it.
In the math, I can multiply these values by 1.5, and it'll skew the numbers a little bit. Sometimes it'll make it like 3-to-1 or 4-to-1 more often.
Okay.
Which is a bigger payout. So that could be fun. I'll probably do that too.
Sky, are you there?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I've been battling with my insides.
You having sickness too? Down with the sickness?
Sorta.
Kriya said he was sick. I was sick last weekend. I mean, there's definitely stuff going around. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, I've been like...
This is something I've dealt with for the past year. It's just on again, off again. Look, just be careful taking too many antibiotics because I killed my gut biome and now I can't poop.
Gotcha.
So.
Just to give you want to recap, Sky?
I can look. You guys have been basically doing the arena. Looks like.
We've talked to a lot of people so far, and we have a little bit more background. So when we came in, we entered the part of the city and near the low quarter. So we did a lot of talking and work with the clerics out there that are trying to heal the people from the sickness because there's a plague going around the city. We got a plan going in place to help and to heal the poor, heal the city. There's going to be a giant sacrifice to try to help clean the city, but also hopefully get a nice favor from the Lord of Flames.
Oh, that reminds me. When you came back from Tyr with all the herbs, you can immediately give those off to the clerics of Badna, and they'll give you 10 gold back.
Oh no! I'm paying for it. I paid for it. I'm not charging them.
Okay. Well, it was just sort of like one of the quests in town is that they would give you twice as much as they're worth.
No, they can spend it on something else.
But yeah, I'll consider that a 5 GP donation. I'll write a note here.
Yeah, so we've learned that the clerics and the Templars have been maybe a little close with each other because they had a lot of association with the sorcerer queen. Sorry.
Get ready to kill them all.
Since they were getting their powers from the same place, pretty much.
Right.
They still believe in that god or goddess, but I don't think they have their powers. So it's all medic kits and herbs and the medical checks and things like that they're using. So we're gonna help them. The plan is to take the airship, drop a bunch of loaded up with herbs, medicinal herbs, bait for all the rats that are spreading the plague around.
The clerics of Badna are not actually clerics. Most of them are commoners. Some of them are scions. The ones that are scions can actually cast Cure Disease, and so they're doing what they can with their limited spells.
Yeah, but they've lost a lot of their source of power.
Like most of
Um,
the clerics of Badna were not Templars. Only the Templars got the blessing of Abalok Ra, which gave them clerical spells. So among the clerics of Badna, the priests of Badna, it's basically just any of them that had psionic talent would have the ability. Or maybe if there's one of those very rare hidden clerical elementalists among them, then maybe they would have some cleric magic, but they would probably not use it because it would expose them, and that would have been a huge risk here.
and then after that, we move towards the Union of Workers, and we actually ask them their opinion about like what's causing all the issues in their cities and who would be good at leading the town. And in their opinion, and it's mostly because they're association, they think that the Alice McKay would probably be strong leaders, but they're a merchant house.
And you hired 750 people, so you're one of the biggest employers in town now.
Yeah, temporarily. And get their opinion about things. Also, we went all the way up to, because I'm looking for a magical item, and the person who has the magical item is the dwarf leader of the gladiator house and the arena, and he made us an offer for the item if we help him become the lead or the leader of the city. And we kind of asked him, like, who would be able to, who he hates the most, and who he would be able to affiliate himself with. And he would be able to affiliate himself with the Templars, with the priests, with Alice McKay, since they do good business already together. But in his mind, one of the groups that are causing the most of the problem with the Civil War is well, not just the elves, it's all of the warlords, pretty much.
So basically, it's the Human Thieves Guild, the head of the crime syndicate, and then it's the leader of the elves that's trying to take over the city.
Yeah, and they're doing that through chaos and violence. I don't know. I'm heading towards liking that idea of helping them, because they're able to associate themselves with other groups that are not that doesn't have the strength. It would not destabilize the economy, because Alice McKay would work with them and the rest of the town. Alice McKay is the house that is hiring the most of the people in combination with the arena, so they already have a lot in common.
The arena buys a lot of
other-
weapons and armor from House McKay.
Yeah, and then the other guys are warlords, people from outside of town causing some issues, and we might need to police them out of the city. And that might actually work in our favor. And he would be willing to, he said that he would be willing to do commerce with Tyr and with our alliance. And when I asked him what he thought about Sorcerer Kings, he spat on the ground and said he was more than happy that the Sorcerer Queen was taken care of.
And who was that again? You just said
That's the dwarf, the guy who's ahead of the arena.
Moore.
Noah Burdenmore.
Yeah, I think you would like that guy. A little bit of a scum, but and if we help him and it's all successful too, he's gonna help me get back the fire legendary item.
The Ember Heart.
Yeah, the Ember Heart.
A fat gem. A big ruby that grants magical powers.
That'd be quite the price. And yeah, so we're trying to save the town too. There's some downtime in all of this, because there's getting the herbs, fixing, as much as like gathering all the corpse and all the stuff that needs to be burned for the preparation of the ceremony. There's gonna be a big sacrifice. I'm feeding a lot of people in the city. I'm gonna have fire clerics protecting people so they can walk through the flames to clean them from whatever,
Disease.
yeah, and lices and fleas and all that stuff. and we're gonna help also with all the rats in the city. So there's a bunch of stuff going on. We're gonna use the airship. I don't know if use the airship to fly over the city and drop bait all around the town to feed the rats with medicine, so they stop spreading the diseases.
Maybe you can make a spicy water that you submerge their clothes in.
But they have a lot of water in this town,
Right.
and they have magma underneath too. So I was thinking like we could maybe get our friend the druid of magma.
Marcus
From the town.
Alramki.
Yeah, you'd have fun here.
His name Alramki indicates that he's related to the Imki family, House McKay.
There you go. That would be a perfect spot for him, and he could help. And I think Morg would like to have a druid representative in the town that can help. Maybe we can
He,
help.
would, he
maybe
might
we-
say something about how to improve the agriculture of the region. You know,
well,
volcanic areas tend to have very good. That's not something that I know. Like
Yeah.
Orrin would know,
yeah,
but
The
yeah,
only
volcanic
problem is
areas.
that he was a hermit, and this is like one of the
Yeah,
most
but-
populous places in Athens.
yeah. Well, you know what he could help with though? Maybe if he's able to control some of the flow of lava and stuff like that, maybe help with slowing down or reducing the amount of earthquakes. Wouldn't be a bad idea.
Yeah.
That'd help the city. This town is in shit situation. I was gonna say, just you guys should just leave it. Find a place to live because this town is falling apart. But
You know, it just occurred to me that this is actually like kind of cool that there's layers to this town. So you're on the surface layer, but you already heard the labor guild's quest to go into the sewers and start opening up the tunnels in the sewers. And then underneath the sewer tunnels, that's where the magma chambers begin. So there's lava tubes and tubes that the superheated gases would be like pumped up through, fissures and things like that for geysers. So all of that would be underneath, and whatever creatures might occupy that, maybe like fire drakes or something,
yeah,
or water drakes, because it's also like a lot of boiling water down there.
I need a fire drake baby. I need to find an egg.
So that might be a little side quest to delve deep into the underdark underneath Rom.
What if we diverted some of these super hot heated gas through the fucking sewers to kill all the rats?
I don't know how you could do that. The sewers are extensive because this town is miles across. And I think because of the earthquakes, the random fractures releasing pressure, it would be hard to like specifically choose to open a spot up to do that.
We need to bring some of those radiation gases. Fill in the tunnels with shit.
From Trollgrave.
Yeah. Kill all the rats. Come out like a bunch of mutants.
That might make things worse.
I know. Well, I don't know. Do you guys have an idea on how to deal with rat infestation in sewers?
The Black Plague, basically.
Yeah.
I don't. Besides, I do have a poisoner's grotto, and I've worked with making poisons, and I also
I was thinking of that.
I basically do a ranching a lot, and so I've probably dealt with rats on more than one occasion throughout my life.
Mm-hmm.
And
Vermins.
so techniques for keeping that kind of population down and off my kinks would probably be something that I could probably maybe put my 2 cents in on if there were skill checks of that type.
Hey, we can try to do that is ninjas, like we poison the rats in the sewers and we try to heal the ones on the surface. That way we don't spread poison all around the city, you know? But we keep it.
No, you just kill them all. You don't want to keep more rats
No, yeah.
because
Plus, they're eating the
otherwise
grain. They're part of the
Right.
problem why this town is
Yeah.
having a famine right now.
Yeah, well, we got plague to deal with too, you know? It's
Plague
like,
and famine.
Killing all the rats is like pretty fucking hard.
Multiple
Oh, yeah.
horsemen of the apocalypse running wild in Rom.
But if we kill them in their source in the in the sewers, it's gonna help everywhere.
War,
It sounds like you've
famine,
done quite
death.
good job with uniting the city and taking care of a lot of issues, and for that I'm grateful. Um, I know it's getting close here, and I'm sorry, I was just in some supreme pain. But
Okay.
Nawab Shiala, I was hoping to get a chance to talk to.
She's elusive. She has many enemies, so she doesn't operate in the open. Just like your new friend Nawab Erden Moore, he never leaves the safety of his arena for fear of being assassinated by one of the other two factions.
Well, I figured it'd be easier to find her than it would be anybody of the Night Runner.
So you've heard that she's in with the elves outside of town. So she might not even be inside the city currently. She might be among the 40,000 people that live in the outside, beyond the walls of Rom.
Well, I go to seek her out, and if I need to gather information or
We did pass several days, so this will be like multiple days of doing carousing, gather information rolls, that sort of thing.
yeah.
So you'll have several days to try to hunt her down with several rolls.
Do we roll for the sacrifice, or we wait for next game?
Let's wait for the next game. Let's say, like, for now, you're waiting for your 750 laborers to collect all the bodies and bring them to the crematorium.
It's gonna be a giant fucking pile. It's gonna be remind us of the pile we built at the after the war at Tyr.
The war against Uruk? Yeah.
Yeah.
Massive corpse pile. Hundreds of bodies.
What about the store? Maybe we'll have a chance to go shop. You said you're working on a store list.
So, first off, you do have to go to the bank and exchange coins.
Can we see the items so we know how much we need to exchange?
There's not a lot on this list yet, but here's the link.
Okay.
So we got Vizier's First Bank, where you can exchange your coins for a 1% fee. You can also buy and sell gems. You can also buy and sell ingots. They got gold, silver, iron, copper. There's Flint Crafters Row, where they have an assortment of mundane flint-based weapons. This is like the weapon supply I mentioned earlier that Abalok Ra kept around, a huge supply of these mundane weapons for her people in case of war. So Flint Crafters Row, they're constantly producing all sorts of general flint weaponry that you could equip armies with. There's a textile mill that produces various trade goods and carpets and murals. There's the laborers union that hires out laborers and has several quests. There's the priesthood of Badna. You talk to them about diseases and their need for medicine. Artisans Row, they have a variety of interesting musical instruments, rare weapons, the artwork of the famous artist Ushuk Si, and the unique musical instrument / kids toy, the Tishi stick. They make jewelry as well in Artisans Row. The crematory, when you do eventually get there, you're going to find out that it's controlled by Nanda Shatri, who is a high-level Veiled Alliance member. She's basically the Veiled Alliance main person in Rom, and what she notices that you are the heroes of Tyr. She'll immediately know that you're Veiled Alliance, and she'll reveal that she is Veiled Alliance as well. So your contact at the crematory is the Veiled Alliance, and you can do your ritual of sacrifice there. She'll be accommodating.
Sweet.
Then I haven't got any items for it, but you've got the Siomark School of the Way, teaches over 100 students every day. Then you've got the Sion-Aram and the Yellow Monastery, which are two rival schools. So there's a bit of a rivalry between the Sionists. Each one serves a different faction. So, let's see, what is it? The Yellow Monastery, I believe, is the human faction. Siomark is the dwarf faction, and Siona Rom is the elf faction.
Items.
And then there's House McKay, and they've got just regular trade goods. And then there's the arena, and you already did that. That's gambling. So,
It's not gonna be.
like I said, it doesn't have any like fancy magic items that you could buy.
Not yet. Well, there's some ballista heads.
Yeah, that's something that I figured you'd want to buy here.
Yeah, we're gonna need some. Alright, we'll have to take a look at the list next week.
Sure.
Okay. Oh my god.
A couple of things. I would like to sell off the last of my tassel worms.
Okay.
I don't know if we talked about that. And so we only have 10 minutes left, or maybe we're gonna end a little earlier.
Yeah, that was the plan. Multiple sick people.
Yeah. I was trying to find my notes here. I did spend the most time in the previous year of downtime in ROM.
Yeah.
Developing my Dunai Watchers.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to find just how many contacts / levels worth of people I have working in ROM, and I can't find it yet. I've been scrolling through, but I'd like to be leaning on that here. I spent almost like a month and a half, maybe 2 months of the previous year, like more than any other city was focused on ROM.
I don't have specific numbers in my notes.
It's got the dice rolls of everything that happened too, but I'll have to bring it to you when I find it here.
I have extensive notes on this, though. Yeah.
I wonder if your people could find where those the leaders are.
Yeah,
of those,
that's the main. Oh, here it is. It's in the Thieves tab. Okay, so 4 weeks. Okay, so a full month is what it was. But I've 12 spies in ROM, or 12 levels, depending on how you want to put it together.
All right.
But spent 1,000 CP in that regard for the carousing, and I've got my rolls in there.
I should make a note of that. 12 spies in ROM. Okay. I'll treat them like contacts, like carousing contacts. They can help you out.
Yeah. We'll speed along the gathering process.
Oh, we still have to talk with the leader of the with the Templars and the clerics as well.
Weren't they the first ones you talked to? Well, I guess you didn't find the leader of the Badna priests.
Not yet. No, we were just talking to one of the clerics helping the sick people and got them on the mission. So I ended up renting a bunch of homes in that area, Sky, and we have our clerics from the ship like healing people.
Yeah.
And helping out and feeding them and all that stuff.
ROM was also the only place that I didn't do any crime in during that year of downtime in the Thieves tab. Just for story reasons.
Okay. Yeah, it was mostly investigations, right?
Right. Well, I would go, for example, I went to Balak, got some spies, but then did crime to pay for it back. Gold, I've got some spies, Nibene, some spies, 2 contacts in Silver Springs, 8 Urakites, and did a lot more crime there. And some in Dradge, too. I've got 6 spies in Dradge, or 6 contacts. So, something else to think about.
I'm looking at the notes. A bunch of this stuff is about the Grand Vizier. There isn't really a Grand Vizier currently because that was Abalak Ra. So there are many viziers, but they are mostly just bureaucrats. So really, it's the Nawabs. The warlords are in charge.
Yeah, those are the one we need information on.
So really, if you
So-
helped the dwarf become the king, he would become the Grand Vizier.
Oren is still going to be looking in. I know that you guys have done a lot with stabilizing on that side of the balance, with the Templars and Badna and all of them. But Oren's a little bit more interested in trying to make this the Elven City, and so he's going to try to work that angle, and it might come to a filthy head.
Really, you're gonna side with the elves?
They're the
I was trying trying to make that a possibility to convince myself, but then also Grimorn and everybody else here, Morg and Ringsight, that
All right.
they can be trustworthy.
So I'm gonna make a note. I need to flesh out the elves more.
They're the intruders, man.
I don't-
Ooh, elves.
I don't have a lot to go on about the elves. They are the Night Runners. They're typical nomadic elves. They don't come into the city a lot, but they have ambition to take over the city, and so they have been fighting with the Human Thieves Guild. Neither one of them has total control. They each control about a third of the city.
Well, if they have ambitions, then that speaks to this being a possibility. If they're interested in taking over the city, they're interested in settling down and moving from the chaotic warlords to, an actual elven city, something more akin to Silver Springs that I'm used to.
Well, it's not going to be an elvish city. Like they're a minority in population.
True.
15% of the 40,000 people in the city are elves.
Yeah,
15%. I'm writing that down.
Yeah, the majority are what, human and dwarves, or in mold.
40% Ramite human, 20% dwarf, 15% elf, 10% mole, 5% half giant, 5% half elf, 4% thrycreen, 1% halfling.
Yeah, so they're the only group that are really trying to push for that race supremacy.
So that's 6,000 elves. That's a lot of elves. For a city-state in Athos, that is a lot of elves to be in the city.
Oh, okay. I saved the table.
All right. Cool. I'm going to end the stream there. Thanks for watching out there in Twitch land. That was fun.
Yeah.
I had some internet problems. Or not internet, but CPU problems, heating problems. But it seemed to run okay after I turned down some settings.